episode 11, buddy.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how loud was that?
That last note was pretty loud. I'd say 98.
We might have to turn it down a little bit. Let me go put this up.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll entertain everybody. I'm in a different setting. I'm in a different hotel room. The hotel, honestly, it kind of looks like a great place to ditch somebody if you were to do some questionable things. Heard word from somebody at work that there was a homeless guy living in a Toyota Corolla, like in this parking lot, for like 3 months, and all the windows were smashed out on the car. Yeah. Talking about my new hotel.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I didn't know what I was coming into. You were talking about a homeless dude? I didn't know what was happening.
Well, I ran into a guy from work at a gas station, like right there. Like, you can't see my hand pointing off camera, but right there.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him at work today, and he was like, "Are you staying in that Hampton Inn back there?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "It's a kind of sketch." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, man. There's been like a homeless guy living in a Toyota Corolla with the windows smashed out in the parking lot for like 3 months now. And they finally got him out." I don't know. It's not that bad. It's out of the city, so I like it. Way more relaxed.
So the new hotel is the one without the homeless guy?
No, it's the one.
Oh, it's the one with the homeless guy. Okay.
They finally, at least, removed his vehicle.
Oh, okay.
But that's beside the point. I was just yapping while you were putting up your guitar.
Episode 11, right?
Yeah, episode 11.
It's a little late. It's currently 9:39 p.m. on a Thursday night, but we're getting her done. I've been a little busy. Well, we've both been busy. You've been moving rooms around, going back to North Carolina, all that stuff. Had a pretty busy little go of it here. Let's see, tomorrow is Friday for me. Then Saturday is the marathon. So one of the big reasons we wanted to pump this out right here is so during the marathon I'll have something to listen to. You know, I always like listening to the podcast while I'm running. So it's kind of the idea is like, well, we're just gonna pump this out real quick. And hopefully you got some good topics to talk about.
I've got a little bit to talk about. I mean, I can jump into something unexpected right here.
Let's do it.
I've met this guy at work. Call him Mike.
What's up, Mike?
Mike's a really cool dude. I told him about the podcast the other day, which I told myself I was not going to tell any of these guys that I work with that I have a podcast. I don't know why. I really didn't want to be like
that guy.
And I didn't want to come in one day to everybody like pulling up our podcast and watching it at work.
Yeah.
But I kind of let it slip to this guy. We were having a kind of deep conversation, and I just mentioned it, and he hasn't told anybody. But he thought it was really cool, and he was like, "You work like a lot of hours, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I at least work 40 hours a week most of the time." Mm-hmm. He was like, "And you get overtime?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I get overtime here and there. The most I've ever worked in a week is like 65 hours. It's not that crazy, really. Yeah. I mean, it's a busy week, but that's working 7 days and 10 during the week, whatever." And so he's like, "So you can work like 50 to 60 hours or 40 to 60 hours a week, and you can have a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." How do you find the time? Is it like a short podcast? And I was like, I mean, we only do an hour normally. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
He was like, how do you find the time to do that? And I was like, well, I mean, we kind of talk about that. Or that's something we could talk about, is that it's important to us.
Yeah.
I really like what we're doing. I think we're doing something really good. I know you said the other day that we've got something good here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if it's important, you'll find time for it. And
Yeah, for
I didn't even
sure.
realize that. Like, I guess I just hadn't thought about it that we do put a lot of effort into making time for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, we've done a couple 8 a.m.
Yeah,
8 a.m. podcasts. We're doing a 9:30
I
p.m.
know
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
Uh, I really hadn't thought about it till he said something.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, if it's something you care about, you'll put a lot of time into it. I know I've mentioned it before, and I'll probably mention it again. But like with me and the running and stuff, it's like sometimes I'll get out, and it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm out running miles.
Yeah,
And from people on the outside looking in, I'm like, this guy's crazy. This guy's an idiot. This guy's stupid for why is he doing this? Pitch black outside. It's like that's the only time I had available. It's like I on trips before. Like if I'm for one example, I had a 6 a.m. flight going to New Orleans last fall. We were going to go to a LSU football game, and like we had a 6 a.m. flight. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and went and ran just to keep that streak alive. Like 3:30 in the morning,
that's awesome.
I got up and ran just so I can keep the 2 miles a day streak alive. And like people look at that from like that, well, what is this guy doing? But it's important to me, so I'm going to make time for it. And time's one of them things that it's always flowing. It's undefeated. You won't be able to beat time. So it's one of them things you got to sacrifice for. Like there's only 24 hours in a day. Usually you spend 8 of those hours sleeping, right? Most of the time.
Yeah.
If you want to, get good sleep or whatever. But then 8 hours working. Like you work normal 8 hour day. 8 hours sleeping. That only leaves you 8 hours to do whatever else you want to do. So I've looked at it from that perspective before, and it's just finding bits and pieces and finding the right time to do things. And yeah, so and I think this is important to us, so we've made a lot of time for it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're a really good testament to that because you do all kinds of different stuff, dude. You coach several different teams. You're active in a lot of high school sports, and you contribute a lot of your time for that for probably not enough money, honestly. But that's not my decision. Uh, I mean, you do church and
Mm-hmm.
youth pastor. You do all kinds of stuff, dude, and you're a full time student.
Yeah.
Like there's
Well.
people that only handle that, and you're out
Mm-hmm.
here running marathons and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, it's like I'll look at it this way. It's like I have a set of things that I want to do in a day, and I just kind of break them down. It's like, well, this is how I'm going to do them. Like today, I had class at 11, which I only got one class on. Well, I only got one class a day on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. So we got one class at 11. I'm like, well, usually I get up and run before my classes, but this week where it's been a lighter week, a lighter mileage, I'm like, well, I'll sleep in an extra 2 hours or whatever. So I slept until 9:30. Actually, 9:30 today. I got some felt nice. I slept in on 9:30 today. Took a shower, got up, got over to school at 12. Then like I found time to have lunch with Noah. Ate lunch with Noah today. Well, I ate lunch while he sat there and watched me eat lunch because he
You
already
got a
ate.
flex?
But yeah, I'm out of flex too. But he already ate.
Poor
But
guy.
we spend that flex money like it's nobody's business.
Dude, I remember you guys burned through it so fast.
But it's like so I went up, got at 11, had class 11 to 12:15, went and got food, then ate with Noah, hung out with Noah to 1. Then I had to go to go to town get my driver's license at 2. So we were getting my driver's license renewal. So I had that at 2. I'm like, well, this is gonna take a while. So my plan was get that and just head out to school for practice at 3, but it only took like 5 minutes, so I was able to run home for a little bit, strum the guitar for probably about 30 minutes.
No.
Went back to school. I was at school at the high school for track practice from 3 o'clock to 5. Then I went and ran, came home for a little bit. Then I went to the Madison Garden and hang out with some friends and eat some good food. And now I'm here. So it's like, you look at it like time wise, like there was not a lot of hard work in there, but I was still busy. I don't know, but and that's kind of how like most of my days are. It's like I don't have a lot of free time, but it's the time that I do spend. I feel like it's productive for the most part. That's not every day, I'll say that, but like I was making, building relationships either with some friends or just making connections or just coaching or just whatever. So time is very important, and it's like I ran with a kid on the track team today. Did 3 miles with him, Isaiah. It's like that was cool, building a new connection there, running and just pretty neat. So
I get caught up too much thinking about time. It's like often at work, we'll do tens in Georgetown. Georgetown's an hour from me in the morning. It's like an hour 10 in the evening because you get stuck at the split, like undoubtedly in Lexington.
Yeah.
But I've already worked 10 hours, had a half-hour lunch in there. So, we're already at 12 hours. I've got 8 hours to sleep, or I should sleep 8 hours, and then I've got a few hours to eat and take care of the dogs at the house. And,
yeah.
It's a lot better for me not to think about it, but I end up thinking about it like every day.
Mm-hmm.
At least when I'm home. Out here, it's been nice because it's like, what am I going to do whenever I get to the hotel?
Yeah.
Actually, that same guy I was talking about, I've been extra stressed at work this week just because I'm getting close to being done.
Yeah.
And it feels like I'm not getting enough done in the time that I'm here. But I was real testy one day, and he was like, "Hey, are you like getting out and doing stuff in the evening?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, have you done anything in Greensboro? I was like, "No, just like I either pick up food on my way to the hotel, try to find something kind of healthy, eat at the hotel, and then I do OSHA training."
Yeah.
You should probably get out and do something. So I've been exploring a little bit this week, and it definitely has helped.
In Greensboro?
Not in Greensboro. So my last hotel was like in Greensboro. Greensboro, it's not a very big city, like Lexington or something like that, you would think. But it's a really large city. Like it covers a really large area on the map. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But my hotel now is like halfway between Greensboro and some other town that I forgot the name of. But just getting out on little side roads, I try to avoid the interstate unless I'm going to work because there's nothing on the interstate. Nothing cool to see. I've been exploring. My hotel is on Knox Road, and there's like an automotive technician school called Hard Knocks, or the School of Hard Knocks. Yeah, I thought that was funny. That was pretty clever. But I don't even know what I'm yapping about now.
Just getting out and doing stuff. It's important.
Just getting out and doing stuff. We were talking about time.
Yeah. It's like, well, I'll kind of share this experience I had was it yesterday or was it Tuesday? It was yesterday. There's a kid on the track team that was just kind of asking me about my experiences and just how to lose weight and stuff, and just kind of the discipline for it. And I think this ties into what we're talking about a little bit. He's like, "Man, it's like, how do you do it?" It's like, I want to lose some weight and stuff. It's like, how'd you do it? And I told him. So the biggest thing was consistency and doing things on I wouldn't say a set schedule, but like not a schedule, but like doing it every day and just he was like, I talked to him about 20 minutes just about my whole experiences and stuff. And we can dig into that if you want to right now.
Yeah,
Because I feel like I haven't really talked about it on here before, just how I started losing weight. And, it kind of goes into fixing my schedule and putting time where it needs to be. But back in 2022, when did we graduate high school? 22?
22, yeah.
22, going into the summer, and I think, was it the summer of 23? No, I think it was the summer of 23 or 22. Last year was 24. No, it was summer 23 is when we went to camp. I can't even remember. Time. Speaking of time, it flies. I mean, it all just goes together.
It does.
But
I believed it.
Going into college, I was probably 80 pounds, give or take. I was a lot bigger than I am now. And so going into college, it's like a fresh start. You're going to college and all this stuff, and like you're going, Noah's going, Caleb's going. So like I still remember the first day of college sitting in them chairs in the kind of like in the Powell Plaza. I never sat there ever again after that. But I still remember sitting there with you, like nervous about going to class and stuff. And we're sitting there, and I think you had a coffee or whatever, and we were just kind of hanging out, just kind of talking about what was happening. And I still remember that, but like went to class and all that, and just but that whole fall semester, I kind of remember just being kind of down a little bit, not really like down and depressed, just like not happy with the way that I was feeling, you know. And I can't remember what it was, but I've said it before to you, and I've had conversations with other people before. It's like I came to the realization for me that I was going to be fat the rest of my the rest of my life. Like that was just my reality. I came to that realization that was my reality. And I remember having a conversation with myself. It's like, I'm going to be this big the rest of my life. I just don't want to let it get out of control. Because, you see people, like, on 600-pound life and stuff. And, you see all those extreme cases. Shoot, you even just go out in town, and you just... It's sad to see. But, I'm like, well, I know I'm going to be big the rest of my life. I just don't want it... let myself get out of control. And that's a very bad mindset to have, very dangerous mindset to have, very complacent mindset to have, that, well, this is just how I am. I just don't want it to grow on to something worse instead of wanting to improve yourself. But that was I remember having that conversation with myself. But I remember one time, I think, we were just, I don't know, I always looked up to Andrew Farmer. He had a big impact on my life. He still does, but he's going to the marathon with me this weekend. But just like him, just talking to him about things, just about life and stuff at church and all that stuff, I'm like, dude, I need to get my crap together. Like I need to do something to improve myself. And I felt like that was the thing I could focus on. Like, okay, you're overweight. Let's switch this around. Let's change things up. Let's change the way how you're doing things. And so that's what I kind of started doing. I don't know why I decided to start running. I can't quite remember that, but I think that was just, I'm like, well, if you're going to, you lose weight by burning calories, what's the simplest, fastest, easiest way to burn calories? Well, just getting out and moving, right? Getting your heart rate going and doing that. So I guess that's what really drawn me to it. I never had the aspiration to go run a marathon, because I always hated running. Ever since I was little, I hated it. It's conditioning and stuff. It's running sprints. I hated it. I guess what I kind of liked about this so much was that you're not going 100% full blast. Just bang, 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 going 100%, just constantly out of breath. I mean, when I was still in the early stages, I'd still get out of breath a lot, but now I'm never out of breath. It's the The only things that hurt are my legs. Like, I never get out of breath because I just feel like I could just go on forever. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. I say anywho a lot. I was listening to the podcast.
Me and Dad were talking about this the other day.
I say it a lot.
That is definitely Gabe's filler word.
But anyways,
it's all good, brother.
Anyways, it's like whatever got me into it, I just hopped on that track at EKU. I mean, if you ever went to the rec center at EKU, you know it. There's that track upstairs that one loop is 1/10 of a mile. So I'd get up there and I'd do 10 laps. Get on that track and do 10 laps. And that'd be a mile. It'd probably take me about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, just depending how much I walked, when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you get up there and do it with me every now and then. Excuse me, but I get up on there and I tried to do it every day, 5 days a week. Every day I was over there. I kind of made it a mission in my head to get in that rec center and work out at least 5 days a week. Every day I'm over there for class. Because a big thing for me was like, well, you're paying to go to school there. That's a part of the payment. So I don't want to let it go to waste. Like, you get in there for free. But you're still paying for it, and your tuition and all the student health fees and all the EKU experience fees and all that crap. You're still paying for it. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to let it go to waste. And that was just kind of my mindset to it. And eventually I found myself starting to enjoy it. You do a positive thing, you might find enjoyment out of it. You start doing good things, doing healthy things, good for you things. Might actually start enjoying it. And I did. So I'd get in there, and when I first started running, I'd run just like 2 laps. I remember, if I can do 2 laps, and I'll walk a little bit. I'll do 2 laps, and I'd walk the curves, or walk a curve section from like one pole to another pole in there.
Yeah.
It's just, and I don't know how to describe that, but that's just what I'd do. There's like 2 poles in the building. I'd walk from one pole to the other pole. It'd probably give me about a 30-second break to catch my breath before I started running again. So I'd probably run for, a good jog pace for probably 2.5 minutes, then walk 30 seconds. Then 2.5 minutes, walk 30 seconds is probably what it ended up being for me. And so, I mean, I just kind of took that and just did it until I could build up to the point where I could do half a mile. I could do 5 laps, then I'd walk a little bit. Then I'd do the other 5 laps. Oh crap, I'm done. Like, that's how cool is that? Then I'd build that up to where I could do the full 10 laps without stopping, and doing that whole mile in. So I just kept building up, and like we were talking about time earlier, it's like this didn't happen overnight. It's like not one day. It's like I went out to the rec and was able to walk or run a full mile just right off the get-go. I mean, it's just not how it happened. It took me probably months to be able to run that full mile without stopping. And then it built up to, well, let me see if I can do 1.5 miles. Let me see if I can do 2 miles. So I'd do a mile, walk a little bit, then I'd do another mile. And that's just kind of the mindset I had going into it. It's like, well, let's see if I can keep improving. And I eventually built up to where I wasn't doing 2 miles a day yet, but I was still doing at least a mile. I was running at least a mile a day, or at least a mile every weekday. I'd usually take the weekends off of running and lifting, just give my body time to recover or whatever. But I just do that, and eventually I remember I was real big into golf that summer, or that spring. I think it was the spring of 23. It was when I first started really getting into golf. I went golfing with Luke Fletcher a few times, but me and Tanner, we went a lot. Me and Tanner Seals, we went golfing a lot. And I remember one time I was at Gibson Bay, and I saw Coach Flick in there at Gibson Bay. And the first time I seen him forever, I still haven't seen him in forever, but first time I saw Coach Flick in forever, and he was in there like doing business or whatever, trying to sell. He was playing golf with some guy trying to sell to him or whatever. I can't remember. But I was telling him, he said, Gabe, man, you've lost a lot of weight. And like that was another thing that was really good for me is that all this running, it was causing me to lose weight. And like, dang, Gabe, you've lost a lot of weight. It's like, yeah, I've lost about 50 pounds, And I was getting to the point. It's like, man, you've lost 50 pounds, and I'm feeling good. It's like I'm able to run, almost able to run 2 miles without stopping. Like that was a big deal for me back that summer of 23, or that spring and summer of 23. That was a huge deal for me. And I remember I'm like, I'm gonna start running 2 miles a day. And just from that conversation I had with Coach Flick, and we could tell stories about Coach Flick all day.
We probably shouldn't.
We probably shouldn't, but we could.
We could, but we shouldn't.
And so just building up that 2 miles a day, and I was starting to run in it, but I hadn't started keeping track of it yet. And we went to that SummerSlam in August 5th, I think is what, yeah, August 5th was SummerSlam. And we went up that day, we went up that morning of August 5th, we went up to Detroit, Michigan. We saw a Tigers game that day, and we saw SummerSlam at Ford Field that night. And that time I didn't run that day. So, the 2 miles a day I was doing before doesn't count to the streak because I didn't run that day of August 5th, 2023. And we were driving home that next day, and I got home that night on August 6th, 2023. It was pitch black outside. It was probably close to 10 or whatever. You just, after a long day of driving, because we didn't get back to the hotel till like 2 in the morning that next day. Or back 2 in the morning, so we slept in until they basically kicked us out. They came knocking on the door saying, hey, you guys need to check out. And so it was about a 6-hour drive. I think we might have stopped and eat or something. So we left probably about 1. I mean, we got home, it was dark outside. And, it was one of them things like, well, I can just go inside and go to sleep because we've been driving all day, or I've been driving all day. I drove from Detroit to Irvin. That's a long haul, about 6 hours. And so that's one of the things. I could go home, get in the bed, or I could make time, sacrifice time, and get out and run 2 miles. And I still remember that run 627 days ago. 627 days ago, I remember that night looking at the moon, getting back. And I have a vivid memory in my head that was the day that I was going to start. I was taking it serious before, but that was the day I was going to start going hard, I guess, would be the day. And I don't know if I had a conversation with myself that night or just kind of had a realization or just, let's really do this. But I was running, I was staring up, it was full moon, clear skies. I just remember looking up, and I had music playing in my ears. I'm like, this is going to be something cool. I don't know, that's just kind of the feeling I had in it. And that was 627 days ago. And pretty cool. But along with that, and that's when I started the 2 miles a day. Back then I was calling it 2 miles a day without stopping, because that was a big deal for me, running 2 miles without stopping to walk. But now it's just 2 miles a day, because it's kind of a given that I'm doing it without stopping now. But that was huge for me, being able to get out and run 2 miles a day without stopping at the time. I guess it still is now, so some days I don't want to do it. This past weekend, I didn't want to get out and run. Like, I just had 2 miles to do on Saturday, and it killed me to get out and do it just because it sucked to do it. I mean, it sucks to do it sometimes, but if it's important to you, right now, this streak is one of the most one of the most important things in my life going on, I guess, personally anyways. It's like, I don't know, it kind of feels like it's come on to its own identity of, let's see if we can get it to 1,000. Let's see if we can get it to 650. Let's see if we can get it to 700. It's just kind of taking its own identity for me anyways.
Yeah.
But that was one side of it. That's kind of the running side from it. But that was 2023 is when or August 6, 2023 is when I started the 2-mile streak. I started running like probably 9 months before that. So when people think that, well, shoot, how are you doing it? Like, it's like I'm telling people that I'm running this marathon this weekend and like 26 miles, I could never. And I'm thinking, I'm like, well, I had the same mindset. But I'm not saying that you have to get out and start running. But like, that's such a challenging goal for a lot of people. Challenging goal for me even now, you know. And it's just one of the things, you just got to get out, and it takes time. Like, it's not something that happens overnight like that. It takes time. And it took me 627 days to feel confident enough to, you know, actually go out and run this marathon. Because I thought about doing it this past year, or this past winter, and just, without any preparation, just going up and finding one, signing up, and going and doing it. I'm glad I didn't do that one, because at that point I hadn't even run a half marathon yet. The distance, 13 miles distance-wise, and I'd have went out there and I'd have made myself look like a fool. You know, I probably would have done it, but it would have been awful. I'm glad I actually prepared, you know.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of time. It's like, man, it's like, how did you do it? How did you do it? It's like, I sacrificed a lot of my time to do it. I set aside a lot of hours. I mean, let's just look at it. Let's look at it on my fitness app right now. It tells me how much hours I've ran 683 miles this year for 90 hours and 50 minutes. So I've ran almost 91 hours this year. I've sacrificed 91 hours out of the year to run. And like, you know, that's a lot of time that I could have been doing anything else. But my personal doing anything else would have been sitting and playing PlayStation, or sitting and watching a movie, or sitting and not doing anything productive. At least here, at least with this, I'm sacrificing time and I'm doing something productive. I'm making an impact on myself, hopefully making an impact on the people around me, and making positive, being a positive influence to the people around me. And I feel like that's worth the time, all the hours I put into it, all the work that I've put into it, leading up to this marathon. Oh, even this podcast. I mean, this takes a lot of time to shoot. It takes a lot of time to upload. It takes time to edit it. I mean, it probably takes me a good 30 minutes to edit each one of these. You know, just, which isn't hard. I mean, you make a couple clips and cuts, but just to get everything loaded up and getting everything downloaded and all that stuff. I mean, it takes time, but it's important. It's important to us. This is why we do it. I mean, your job, I mean, you think about it, your job, it's important to you. That's why you actually go and do it. And it also pays you money, but it's important to you for the most part. For the most part, it's like when you spend time with Raynna, you know it's important to you. That's why you do it, and you love her, right? So it's like everything you do, and people ask, well, how do you find time to do things? How do you find time to run? How do you stay disciplined to run? How do you stay motivated? I'm like, because it's important to me.
Yeah.
And finding those things that are important to you, and actually working to improve them, I think that's very important. So,
you know, it's funny. Before you had said about, before you said anything about how it wasn't overnight, I made a note because I thought I'd forget. And the funny thing about consistency is, for the person who's being consistent, it feels like an eternity of building. And then for people to look in, it looks like yesterday you started running and today you're running a marathon. because it still feels that way to me. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I was still in school, you got below 200 pounds. And I remember it was like, when did it even happen? Like, like it felt like you had just started this, and you just like, and really it had been like 9 months. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
it was around the time that you got dedicated on the 2 miles every day without stopping. Could be wrong, but it was a long period of time. But like I looked around, and you had accomplished that, and that was really cool to me. I was like, that really taught me, like you taught me a really good lesson in consistency at that point. And I don't think I ever even really noticed that you taught me that lesson until 30 seconds ago. But like I thought about that a lot whenever it happened. How it was like it felt like you had started yesterday, and then
Mm-hmm.
you were there that day. But it had been a lot of hard choices for you, and a lot of dedication, and a lot of sacrifice.
Well, even it's like it was a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice, but like for me, it's just like it was something that I did every day. Like so it wasn't nothing it didn't feel special to me. It didn't feel like I was going out of my way. Some days it was like that, but it didn't feel like I was going out of my way to improve myself. It was just something that I did. And I feel like a lot of times people feel like they have to go out of their way to uh, try to improve themselves. So they have to have everything perfect before they can improve themselves. Or it's just like, I just did it. I don't want to say it like that, but like, I just, like, well, this is what I want to do. Let's just go do it. Let's see what happens. Like, even with this podcast, like, we just
Exactly your
did it, right?
mentality. You were just like, all right, let's do it.
Let's just do it. Like, what can go wrong? Like, we won't know until we do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like people feel like they have to have every detail perfect, everything figured out, everything going on before you actually start something new or try something new or just try to work out, try to this or that. They feel like they have to just have everything perfect. It's like that kid I was talking about earlier on the track team. It's like, well, what do you think I should do to start to like? I said, like, just get out and move 15 minutes. 15 minutes, just get out and get your blood pumping. You know, go out in the yard, run around, play with the dog. You know, go for a run or a walk or something, or just hop on the treadmill. Do something for like 15 minutes. Just go out and do it. He's like, well, I have this elliptical. Will this work? I'm like, yes, that's perfect. Like, get
Yeah.
on that and start moving. He's like, well,
How do you think?
He's like, what setting do I need to set it on? I'm like, I don't know. Just find something that you like, you know? And I told him that. I said, just find something that you like. It doesn't matter what it is. Find something that's kind of challenging, but not challenging enough that you hate it. Just find something that you like and do it, right? And I feel like that's something that it's hard for people to do because I know it's hard for me to do a lot too. Is just find something you like to do and do it every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Find something positive that you like to do and do it every day. Some people it's lifting weights, some people it's running, some people it's sitting down and reading a book. You know, some people it's cooking a healthy meal. Sometimes it's this or that. Sometimes it's going out for a walk. Just find something good that you like to do and do it every day. That's what helped me a lot.
Yeah. How do you think I should start? I think you should start.
Yeah,
You know, it
just get out and do it.
it can be that simple. I've talked about analysis paralysis on here before, and I still suffer from it. Because I'll be out here, like I brought a kettlebell to work out with while I'm gone, because hotel gyms can be really hit or
Tough.
miss,
Yeah,
and they're usually miss, like
yeah.
usually miss. And so like the other day, I was looking up uh, kettlebell workouts. I really wanted to do like a back workout. I was just feeling a back workout, and I got convinced. I was like, I can't do a good back workout. It's just this kettlebell. Why would I do anything? I'm gonna lay down and just go to bed early. And I was sitting there. I was like, how in the world did I just convince myself that laying in bed was going to be more productive than getting up and moving.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it wasn't a perfect workout, even if I just did a few kettlebell swings and some squats or something, and some cleans, I would have got out and I would have moved, and it would have been beneficial. But instead, I convinced myself that it was better to lay down. It's so easy to fall into that. Even though I can get in front of a camera or my phone and tell people that you have to avoid analysis paralysis, I still convince myself that I can't do something unless it's perfect for whatever reason. It's my Achilles tendon. Is that the right phrase?
Your Achilles heel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Whatever.
I'm not a doctor, Gabe.
I'm the same way though. It's easy to get on here and share your experiences and tell what works for you or what works for others, but like to get out and actually do it's hard. To get out and actually do what you're saying is hard to do. And like, because like for me with like the running stuff, that's just my routine, right? But like other aspects of life that we've talked about on here, sometimes it's hard for me to go out and do that as well. And just want to say that I'm not perfect in a lot of aspects of my life. I'm not perfect, and it's just, I think just going on and doing the best we can with it and trying. Because we said it before in here, you just got to go try. It's like Saturday, I got this goal that I'm gonna run 3 hours, 15-minute marathon. Well, I'm gonna try to do that and do it to the best of my ability. So, anywho. Anyways,
anywho.
What other topics you got over there? You got anything to add more about the time topic? I like that topic that you brought up.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it
surprisingly
Hope somebody
got something out of it.
Made 40 minutes, but kind of to follow along the same theme, I wanted to talk about God's perfect timing.
Okay.
Because God is perfect, as we know. And He does have a schedule, which is interesting to me. I kind of like, it's almost paradoxical. So God gives us free will, but He's got a plan, and His plan's gonna happen. But I don't understand how it can happen if we've got free will, because let's say that, just hypothetically, our podcast is part of this plan, and someone out there in Russia or one of the other random countries that watch us has
the 1%.
Yeah,
I think that person was on a VPN, but
I don't know.
Anyways,
I haven't even thought about that. You're a smart guy, but like one person sees us on here, and they pull one thing from God that we say, and they think I like that, and then they think about it, and maybe one day that snowballs into them giving their life to God. What if I just quit this podcast because I have free will? Like it blows my mind to. I don't know what's going on there. I keep hearing rattling, like the building is shaking, but I'm not feeling anything. I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody's mad at me because I'm talking to my phone and they're banging on the door. I don't know. But that was kind of a tangent. It amazes me to see it happen, because it's illogical. If you give humans free will, most of the time they're going to screw it up. Like, we're just good at it. We just do it because we're not perfect. And yet, God's got this plan. And I really don't know where it's going. But I'm betting my eternity on His plan, you know?
Yeah.
So I've got faith in it. Um, yeah, God's perfect timing. And I kind of wanted to relate that back to what I talked about last time about my drive to North Carolina, because I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I want to start doing daily videos and uploading them to our TikTok. That way, there's more content out there from us to see, for people to see, and maybe, you know, move some listeners in, reach some
Yeah.
people that aren't just our parents.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
and it'll help me because I'll have 7 things that I talked about throughout the week that I can expand on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll help me with my speaking and confidence on camera. And I've been wanting to start that, but for whatever reason I hadn't, and I haven't posted it yet. But I did record the first one today.
Oh, cool.
Because I was sitting on my lunch and I had 10 minutes left on my lunch. And I watched this guy's TikTok. I need to find it so I can tag him in the TikTok whenever I post it. And he starts off this TikTok in his car. Like all those car TikToks you see.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there and he's like, I'm telling you that God wants you to do whatever you've been avoiding. And I was like, man, put a laser on my head. He just pointed at me. And he shared a really neat story about how he listened to God and how he didn't really understand why God wanted him to do what he wanted him to do, but he really felt it, and he ended up having a really big impact on somebody's life. And that whole story gave me chills. It was really motivating. And I made the first of my daily TikToks, and it's gonna be garbage. I
say it's better than you think it is.
I don't know. I feel like I had a lot of filler words, but I'm gonna send it to you whenever we're done with this, and we're gonna go from there. If unless you say it's pretty horrendous, then I'll retake it tomorrow. But my goal was to do these in one time.
Post it anyways.
I don't know.
It can't be that bad. Post it
struggling.
anyways.
Like I know this is kind of the point of me talking about this, but I'm really struggling with it, and I'm bringing it up now so that I actually have to do it.
Yeah.
Accountability partner. And I don't know. I kind of thought about doing post-workout TikToks. That way I have to work out every day. I can't chicken out of it.
Yep.
So.
That's another thing I told that guy I was talking about earlier on the track team. I told him, I said, make yourself a group chat with your buddies. Put me in it if you want to. And post pictures of your run. Post pictures of your workout. Post pictures of whatever you did good today, and send it to that group chat. And that'll hold you accountable. I don't know if he did it today or not. He might have not. Let me check. He might have not been. I don't even think I sent mine to his, because I have a routine. Crap, I didn't send mine to his. Oops. I didn't send mine to that group chat. Hold up, let me go back to my story and screenshot it while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But keep onward, keep going.
God's perfect timing it's impressive. But my whole plan was to challenge myself to actually post that. With having that noted here, I was curious if you had any good stories on God's timing.
I can think of some. I kind of wanted to get back to, I wrote something down here that kind of went along with what you were saying. I don't know if I have any stories right now about that, but free will's crazy, right? The whole, like you were talking about it earlier, it's like we follow God's plan, but we also have free will. How does that work, right?
It's paradoxical.
It's crazy to think about, because like a lot of people believe in like a predestination, like you're predestined to go to heaven or hell or whatever, right? And like I don't agree with that way of
I
thinking
think so.
because we have free will. It's kind of in our hearts that we get to choose, right? We get
Yeah.
to choose. God knows what we're going to choose, but He's not making us choose. That's the way I look at it with our free will and His
Hmm.
plan. He knows what we're going to do. He may have influence on what we're doing, but He's not going to make that final choice. That's for us to do. We get to make that choice that we're either going to follow Him or stray away from Him, or to be righteous or to sin or just whatever, right?
Yeah.
If we want to eat a banana instead of an apple, right? We have that choice. We may be influenced by well, I liked an apple yesterday when I had one. Let me eat an apple today because I wasn't real fan or big fan of the bananas that I bought. This set of bananas I bought at the store. They were kind of mushy or whatever, so I'm not going to eat
Hmm.
that. I'm going to eat this apple because it tasted better. You're influenced to do that, but you're still the one making the choice. And I think that's kind of way that I look at the whole free will situation. Like, shoot, I have the free will to go outside and run around outside without my shirt on, right? Like, you have the
Yeah.
free will to literally do whatever you want to. There's laws and stuff that keep you in place, and influences that keep you in place, but we have the free will to do whatever. And I think it's important. I think it's responsible of us to be doing the responsible things and to be showing being a good influence on other people so they also make the right choices. Because I feel like my purpose on this earth is to, show God's light through me to others. I feel like that's my purpose, to be kind and loving and to be as much like Jesus as I possibly can. Like, just
Amen,
to
brother.
act like Him, and just replicate what He was doing to others. And I feel like that's my purpose, is to do the best I can and to show God's love. And so if I'm doing that, I have I'm choosing to do that. There's nothing worldly in it for me. There's nothing like I'm sacrificing time. I'm sacrificing probably money. I'm sacrificing this or that. There's nothing really worldly in it for me. It's just that, it makes me feel good that I get to help other people sometimes. And it makes me feel good that I get to improve myself. It makes me feel good to be able to feel like I'm able to do what I want to do, right? Because a lot of people, they feel like they can't do what they want to do. And I feel like I'm blessed enough to be able to do what I want to do. Like I went and I knew I was going to mention it at some point, but like I went and I applied for the GA, the graduate assistant
Hmm.
spot over at Eastern, and I ended up getting it. So like
Let's
that's what
go.
I'm going to be doing next year. It's like
Congrats.
I kind of wanted to. I don't know if I really wanted to do that or just I kind of want to now, just because it'll pay and gives me another year to like think about what the interim goal is, right? And just
Hmm.
but like I wanted to sign up for it. I signed up for it. I got accepted. Like, so I feel like I'm blessed enough to be able to do those things and to have good things in my life and to be able to do good things. But I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I just figured I'd mention that at some point. That's kind of a
Yeah.
weird spot to tie it in, but
No, I'm happy for you.
but like anywho, going back to what my point was earlier, it's like our purpose in life. I think our purpose as Christians, our purpose in life. People always asking what's the meaning of life. I think the meaning of life is to follow and serve God to the best of our abilities, right? Because we're God's children. He could have made a bunch of people. He could have made a bunch of quote unquote slaves or a bunch of soldiers or people that just had to follow, didn't have a choice. But I think it's more loving that it's like you don't make your kid love you. Like, your kid chooses to love you because the way you treat them and the way they love you, right? Like you can't make anybody love you, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's a two-way street. It's like that's why I think it's so the whole relationship with God and the relationship with Jesus is like, it's so interesting to me is that, I mean, you can put out all the love that you can into somebody, like God does, like Jesus does, like they can just dish out everything, and somebody can just turn away from it. They don't have to accept it. That's what I find so interesting about it, is that people choose not to accept Jesus for whatever reason, for whatever they were influenced by other people, influenced by worldly things, influenced by the devil, influenced by whatever. People choose not to follow Jesus. And I just feel lucky and blessed enough that, that I actually choose to follow Jesus. And I think I feel like I'm obligated. I don't know if I'm obligated, but just I feel like I'm obligated to share that, to say that, I am a follower of Jesus. I am a Christian, and I think that everyone should choose to follow Jesus. I'm like, we choose to. We're not forced to. Nobody's like holding a gun to our head saying we have to, right? We're not being made to. We get to choose to. And I think that's why the free will thing is so interesting to me, is that we make choices every day to do this or to do that, and that no one makes you do anything. Like, you choose to do things, and I think that's cool.
I've got a question for you. It's going to bleed into something.
Okay.
When you pray, do you ever have moments in prayer where you're not actively thinking of what you're saying, you're just kind of saying?
Yep.
If that makes sense. Like, it's like your brain just shuts off and then stuff comes out.
Yep, I do.
Cool. Because I do too. I didn't know if that was normal.
Nah.
Really not worried about it being normal, but I was curious if you could relate. I keep having this prayer. It's kind of a weird time to throw this in here.
Throw it in.
I've thought about it for a couple weeks now, and like I keep having this prayer, and I thank God for everything He's blessed me with. And I can't help but think that if He took everything that He's given me away and just stripped me of everything, that I would still have more than I ever deserved. Like, I did nothing to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. And it really tears me up to think about everything that I do have, and like I guess I feel guilty because I have all these times where I'm on Facebook and I see some guy on Facebook that just bought a new truck, and I'm like, man, that must be nice, like having that opportunity. And I guess I feel envious. And then I have this prayer, and I'm like, what kind of piece of garbage am I for looking into somebody else's life that I have no understanding of,
Mm-hmm.
and saying I wish I had that when I already have so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got so much to be grateful for.
I feel like it's easy to look into other people's lives and be like, man, I wish I had that, or man, I'm glad I don't have that, or man, I really, really want that thing. And it's an easy thing to do, right? It's an easy thing to covet. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Thou shalt not covet. But I don't know. That's an interesting topic, because like, we don't deserve anything, right? There's like a lot of things in my life are given to me, and I'll say that right now. Like, and I'm grateful for everything, every opportunity that I've ever had. But like, I feel like I haven't like really worked for much of the, I guess, physical things I have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of things were given to me. Like, I'm very blessed to being able to still, stay at home, and not have to worry about bills and stuff, and just kind of do my own thing. And I have two very hardworking parents that have blessed me with those opportunities. Alexis being the same way, Well, she lives out in Tennessee now, but she's the same way. Same way in my she works for what she has, but like me and her, we've been blessed with a lot of great things from with our parents or our grandparents, and just I'll say that right now, and I'm grateful for all those things that I've been given, but we don't deserve them. Like, what have we done to deserve them? What have we done that when we're a little 5-year-old kid running around, what makes us different than someone else, say in a different country, a little 5-year-old in a different country running around?
Yeah.
I've always had thoughts like that, and I've always felt guilty about things like that. But it comes down to is like, you're gifted with your life, right? No matter what circumstances that you're in, you have your life, and it's your life to do with it what you want to do. So you can have those thoughts. You could have those thoughts of guilt. You can have those thoughts of sorrow and just all them things. And say that, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, you have your life. You need to make the best of it as you can. You need to be grateful for what you have, whether it's little or a lot,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, it's just you have one life, you have your life, so just make the best of it you can. Like, don't be envious of what other people have, because they might look at your life and be envious of what you have, so then it's just kind of two people feeling envious about the same thing, and that ain't getting nowhere. I don't know where I'm going with that, but if that makes any sense.
No, there's a lot of truth in what you're saying, for sure.
I just don't know how to say it.
It's you'll. It's funny to get on here knowing that I'm talking to adults as a young adult,
Yeah.
and tell them that, in my experience.
I know it.
But in my experience, you are going to spend way more time and way more mental energy worried about the things that you don't have, and you're going to hurt yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to waste a lot of time. And you can gain so much peace and just like peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
by looking at what you do have and saying thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get wrapped up in all the things you don't have, and to start feeling like you're not enough. That's a really common feeling. I get wrapped up in it. I see people on TikTok, and they're doing something for their wife, or they're getting their wife a gift, and I'm like, I could never afford to do that for Raynna.
Yeah.
And you have those feelings creep in, and then this happened really recently. Like this exact thing happened really recently to me. And I felt really guilty because it's Raynna's birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, Raynna! Early
Happy birthday, Raymond. Why did I say Raymond? What in the world is wrong with
Raymond?
me? Where did that come from?
Happy birthday, Raymond! She's gonna kill me. What?
Happy birthday, Raynna.
Happy birthday, Raynna.
When is her birthday?
April 25th. It is here in just
Friday.
a little bit.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, here in just a few hours.
Yeah.
Or a couple, not even a few. But Raymond, I love you and happy birthday. I'm sorry I couldn't be home with you. I've been really worried about it. I felt really guilty. And yeah, I've really felt insufficient recently. But I came home last weekend and went to a Tyler Childers concert with her. That I have a lot of opportunities that I can make that happen, and that's definitely helped. Focusing on what I have and what I can do, it's definitely a lot better on me than worrying about what I cannot do, and don't have.
Well, I think it's good too. It's like we have a lot of opportunities that are given to us, but we can also give those opportunities to others, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I've been blessed with a lot of things, but I feel like I've been able to give to a lot of people as well, whether it's gifts or just time. Time's the number one thing. I give time to a lot of people, I feel like, or I try to anyways. And just I feel like we give, like you said, you gave Raynna that experience of going to the Tyler Childers concert, and we also take so much. I wouldn't say take, but we're given so much stuff. We're blessed by a lot of things. I think it's important to realize that we are blessed by those things, but it's also important to realize that we need to give those blessings to other people as well. Because you can get and get and get all day, and that feels good, but man, it feels better to give someone else a gift, right? It feels so much better to go out and do something good for somebody else. So that Tyler Childers concert was fun, wasn't it?
Dude, that was killer. It was a
great time.
I'll admit, I thought I was going to get into some trouble whenever I got there. I was sitting by three people our age that were not nearly as mature as us. There was a lot of Fireball consumed in a time span of much less than 20 minutes.
Golly. I saw the picture you took.
Yeah, there was a little girl. She was like the cutest kid I've ever seen in a completely not weird way. She was just like, it was just cute to watch her with her parents. She was having a blast at this concert. She got really tired, and these three kids next to me were vaping, and one of them blew vape on this little girl, like right in her face, and I almost lost it. And the guy in the middle was a little more mature than the other two, and he kind of got on to the guy that did that and apologized to the girl's dad. So I felt a lot better, and I didn't feel the need to
do anything
like I previously had. Yeah. How about me being with my brother? I was like, I genuinely had a plan on what I was going to do if I had to fight those three guys. Like I had a plan on how I was going to use the first guy to like distance myself from the other.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm yapping now.
You want to take a pee break? This dog's barking at me. I gotta let him out.
We can take a pee break. I'm down for that.
I'll be back. Tyler Childers, it was fun though, wasn't it?
Tyler Childers was a blast.
I was pumped when he played Jersey Giant.
Jersey Giant was incredible.
The guys that I went with, Lauren, Tawan, Lauren's cousin Maya. Well, Tawan's Lauren's boyfriend. Lauren's my cousin. Tawan's Lauren's boyfriend. Lauren's cousin Maya went, and her boyfriend Connor, and my cousin Hudson went. There's 6 of us. There's a lot of backstory, family tree in right there. But anyways, I leaned over because, like I was telling Connor before, like he's kind of into Tyler music. Kind of like me. I'm not like a real big Tyler Childers fan, but like I'll go see him. I know most of like the popular songs. And So I told him before we were eating Wingstop. Before I told him, said, "Man, I hope he plays Jersey Giant. Like that's one of my favorite songs of all time. I hope he plays Jersey Giant because like it's not on Apple Music, not on Spotify. You can only find like a one version on YouTube to listen to, or his version, anyways. And so I'm like, I hope he plays it. Then he intros it like, well, this next song we're gonna play, I haven't really played it live a lot before, and it's been a while. We haven't really practiced it or anything. And I leaned over to Connor and said, he's gonna play Jersey Giant. He said, yeah, he's playing it. He's definitely playing it. And he goes, bang, 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 bang. I just got pumped. I got pumped when he started. Shoot, I'll play it on the guitar right now. Boom, 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 boom.
I thought he was gonna play "Messed Up Kid." And
the Zach Bryan song?
No. Tyler, he wrote a song years ago called "Messed Up Kid."
Mm.
It's my favorite Tyler Childers song. It's not released on anything.
I haven't heard it.
I'm telling you, I would have really cried if he played that. I hate to sound like a sophomore girl, but I would have cried. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I got teary-eyed twice at that concert.
I about did, honestly.
When he first started playing, I did, and then when he played "Follow You to Virgie," I got teary-eyed.
Shoot, even the "In Your Love" song. That song's such a good song.
Which one?
"In Your Love." Is that it?
Oh, yeah, "In Your Love." I thought you said Andrea Love. I was like, I don't know. I don't know this one. Okay.
I'm like, shoot, that song's a good one too. But anyways, yeah, he started playing Jersey Giant. That was the only time I pulled my phone out the whole concert, because it was one of the I said before, I'm like, this is gonna be one of them things. I'm not gonna post about it. I'm not gonna take many pictures. I'm just gonna sit and I'm gonna enjoy the moment. Then he started playing Jersey Giant. I'm like,
yep. Did you hear the people that got engaged?
Yeah, you said they were right behind you, right?
Yeah, they were right behind me. I saw them on TikTok earlier.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, holy crap, that was like above my head.
Ian, on the track team, he was sitting in the same section as you, I think, because he was talking about that happening right nearby to him. So he was probably in the same section as you. I think all of Estill County was there.
I've got something important to say. I'm going to name drop somebody.
Uh-oh.
Tyler Fox from Waco, Kentucky. Count your days, buddy.
What?
It's my coworker. He was taking pictures of me the whole time at the concert.
Oh.
And he's been showing them to all the guys at the shop, and I'm not even there to defend myself.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You had me worried there for a minute. I didn't know what you were going.
All jokes. I love Tyler. He's I won't say he's my favorite coworker, but I won't say he's not.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do what?
I won't leave you with something, or not leave you with something, but I've got something here for you.
All right.
That I just happened to stumble across earlier today. It's a Bible verse, and I've thought about it a couple times today after I saw it, and then I realized that it may be of importance to you, or it may give you something. It's Joshua 1:9. You know Joshua 1:9.
Pulled up. It sounds very familiar.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Yup. That's powerful.
Have all the confidence with your
Be
race.
strong and courageous, man. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That's cool stuff.
I know you got your Bible verse on your shirt. Did you show off the shirt?
I haven't showed it off yet. I was kind of waiting for a good moment to tie it in. So the first piece of Be Good to Your Brother merch, this is a one of one. let's pull it up here. It's my running shirt. I got the logo on it. It's kind of nice and shiny. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, bought this shirt. I'm like, I don't need to put a logo on it. So Beth Spradlin put this logo on it for me. Be Good to Your Brother with Jake and Gabe. It's a little different than our logo, like the font is, because she didn't have that. But I think it still looks good. And on the back, got something on the back too. Be Good to Your Brother, Romans 5:3, which is kind of my personal, one of my favorite Bible verses. Romans 5:3. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm going to pull it up here.
Yes.
But it's basically saying suffering produces perseverance. But I'm going to bring it up here. Not only so, we glory in our suffering because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Romans 5:3. And I felt like that was a good message to send to people during the marathon, because people, they won't be seeing my face. They won't be seeing the front of my shirt when I'm running because they'll be seeing the back. I put the Bible verse on the back, Romans 5:3. And, like when you're running a marathon, you got plenty of time to think. So maybe somebody will see that and they'll get their phone out and look up, see what Romans 5:3 says, and hopefully that'll give them some motivation. Because in this marathon, it's going to suck. A lot of suffering is going to be happening during it. But suffering produces perseverance. But I think this is sick, the front of this.
Yeah.
So, 1 of 1 shirt. Unless you want one made too, then I can make it. Then we can get you made one too. But
what we're going to do is... you go ahead.
Okay. These are the shorts for it.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped about these. I don't have the shoes in here. The shoes are in my room. I ain't gonna play them, but they're rocky, as you can see. But got the Apollo Creed shorts on, Rocky 4 shorts. So I ran my 10K in them last year. I ran a 5K in them before too. So they're kind of my go-to race attire is them shorts. I love wearing them shorts. I just think they're fun, anyways. But that's my fit. And I spent a crap ton of money on running shoes. Oh my gosh, it hurt me to spend that much money on the shoes, but
how bad?
It's equipment. We'll say that off stream.
Yeah. Well, we'll write that off.
Yeah. There we go.
We really could, because you have Be Good to Your Brother affiliated.
I do.
Just take a TikTok while you're there. Just hit one of these numbers.
Hey, this is me while I'm running the marathon.
Boom. Right off.
I'll leave that up to you because I don't know how to write stuff off. When I hear right off, I hear right and off. That's all I hear. I don't know what any of that stuff means.
It's close enough. My CPA does it for me. I just send her the numbers.
Yeah. What were you saying, though, about shirts? Were you saying something about shirts?
I was. I don't know what I was going to say, though.
I've had multiple people tell me that they'd be willing to buy one. So, when I see multiple, I mean 3. But
I need to buy the bullet and just order them.
I know it.
But it's going to be, like, if we get multiple sizes, it's going to be up there. Like,
yeah, that's why we can talk about this later. This is a conversation for another time. But,
for another time.
They're coming eventually, hopefully.
We're going to make it happen.
Soon. What else we got going on here? I can talk a little bit about my plan for the marathon.
Yeah, go.
Unless you're wanting to go to bed. I know it's about to be 11.
I don't have anything else. What time is it?
It's 10:58. We can keep going.
Alright, ain't bad. We can keep going.
We'll keep going. This is my plan for the marathon. So it's 26.2 miles. I forget why they call it a marathon. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Why do they call it a marathon? So they call it a marathon because this legendary feat of some Greek messenger who ran from Marathon to Athens to announce its victory over the Persians in 490 BC. There we go. So this Greek messenger, I knew it was some messenger ran from like one place to another to send something, but from the city Marathon to Athens, 26 miles. So that guy ran to deliver that message. But got 26.2 miles ahead of me on Saturday. So I'm going to break it up into each individual part. So let me pull up the map while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Pull up the map on my phone for this race. And I've been thinking about this for, ever since I signed up for it. I'm like, this is such a long distance. How am I going to do it? And I think the best way for me is to just break it up into sections. I think the first little bit, I'm going to break it up into, I think the best way to go into it is just break it up into 10K. Because, into 10Ks. Run 6 miles, run 6 miles. That's 12. Run another 6 miles, that's 8. Run another 6 miles, that's 24. Then you just got 2 more. So I think you just break it up into 10Ks, 6.2 miles, which is conveniently enough one down and back from Go Time to Steam Engine, or Go Time to El Ranchito and back, which I ran every day of December, this past December. So I ran that every day. So I'm like, well, if I can do that every day, I just got to do that, 4 times? Then it's cake. So I'm just going to break it up into sections like that. Or kind of like I told Dad, I said, well, every 5 miles, it should take me 35 minutes to run every 5 miles. So it's just, I'm going to break it up into bits and pieces, because you can't just look at the whole race and say, well, let's just go out and do it. You got to strategically pace yourself. So the first little bit, I'm wanting to start off kind of slow, which is going to be hard for me because the adrenaline's going to be pumping. Everyone's going to be out there cheering. This is a big event. This is the Derby Festival. This is the kickoff to the Derby Festival. The Kentucky Derby is this next weekend. Mm-hmm. And, that's a big deal for Louisville, having this festival. It's like Louisville's Mushroom Festival, I guess. I don't know. But it lasts all week. But,
don't compare it to the Mushroom Festival. That is so unfair to Louisville.
Hey, the Mushroom Festival's legit, all right?
It's legit, but
don't be dissing the Mushroom Festival.
I love it. Just don't do that.
But so we're starting off basically the first mile and a half is on Main Street. You start there by, if you're looking at a map of Louisville, you start there by the KFC Yum Center. And you just run a mile and a half down Main Street and the Louisville Slugger Museum, all that. You run around downtown a little bit. For about 5 miles, you're in the downtown streets and stuff. So that's pretty cool. You'll get to see a lot of buildings, a lot of stuff, a lot of cool things. Hopefully a lot of people cheering you on. And so at mile 6, you get to this little park. I don't know, it's down 4th Street, I don't know what it's called, but you get to this little park, you run in and around. So that's going to be my first section. My first section is downtown, right? So you get through downtown, quarter way done, bang, you're done. So next little bit is the Churchill Downs section. So what's neat about this race is that you get to run through Churchill Downs. And I think that's a pretty neat thing, because usually horses run there. Now they're letting humans do it. What the heck? That's stupid. But you actually get to run through Churchill Downs. So I'm excited about that, because I've never been to Churchill Downs. I've only been to I went to Keeneland once when I was little, a horse race. I went to the Red Mile to watch dirt bikes, but I've never seen this is the horse racing Super Bowl is the Kentucky Derby, right? And I get to run on the track as secretariat. That's just cool to me. But anyways, anywho, so you go, and that's the turnaround spot for the people doing the half marathon. They turn around there. But I'll keep going down. I don't know what street this is, but the Churchill Downs section, That's basically another 6 miles. Then you hit Icarus Park, which this park is a big 3-mile loop, a little over 3-mile loop around this park, and apparently it's really hilly, like it's up and down. So that's where the halfway mark is, and I feel like that's going to be kind of tough for me, that halfway mark. But I'm still going to get it done, and just got to take it one through. It'll be a nice change of scenery because you, instead of being like on the streets of Louisville and stuff, running through the University of Louisville, that's where their campus is, and all this, you get to run through a park, So I can kind of relate that to, I don't know, running out behind my house like I did every now and then when I was, I've done it before, run out in the woods around my house. I might be able to relate it to that or something like that. But that's kind of a section, the Icarus Park section. Then you're running back. And what sucks about this is that, I don't know if you can really see it.
No.
I don't.
No.
That's tough. There it goes.
Oh, there it is.
But it's kind of blurry. But do you see how it's just one straight line?
Yeah.
It
doesn't.
From here all the way up to here.
That's going to be brutal.
So it's just running in one straight line, and that's going to be tough for me, I think, because at least when you're running in Irvin, it's like you're running like here's go time, here's El Ranchito, and it's kind of like this big smiley almost. Yeah. It's like you run down here, then you're coming back up. It's not just a straight line that you can see the ending on for miles. So like there's always different scenery. But, there's sections of River Drive that are like that, where you just stare and you just stare off and you look straight and like, dang, there's Meads that's so far away. But, you're eventually going to get there. So that's another thing I can relate that to. Then once you get up there, so you'll just break off another section. You get to mile 20. They say mile 20 is where the real race starts anyways. And you get to mile 20, well, shoot, it's just a 10K. Like, I've done that a bunch of times. Maybe 100, I don't know, 100 times. But I've done a 10K a bunch of times. Like, I did that Tuesday, Like, I can get out and do that. And, I'll be hurting, but it's one of the things you just got to get through. Like, it's all a mental thing. Like, I know I'm physically fit enough to do it. It's just a mental thing. It's going to be my mind telling my legs to stop, but I just got to control it, and be stronger than what my body wants. So, keep going up, then you run back into downtown, then you loop back around over by the big soccer stadium where the Louisville soccer team plays and all that stuff. And you there?
Yeah.
Your picture went away. Oh, there it goes. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I'm just going to kind of break it up into sections and throw on a podcast, throw on some Theo Vaughn maybe, listen to some good music. Might even take the headphones out and just kind of enjoy it. But I doubt that'll happen because as soon as I start taking my headphones out, I start thinking. Like, if I don't have, then I'll start overthinking it. Then am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? I just need to get in the groove and kind of zone out. Not really zone out, but, like, just kind of go. I don't know how to describe it because, like, sometimes I'll get running and I'll just kind of zone out. And then I'll look up. Well, I'll mention Coach Flick again. We talked about him earlier. I remember one time he was talking to us about him driving on road trips. And, like, he'll look down, he'll look up, and 6 hours has flown by, and he doesn't even remember it. Do you remember him talking to us about that? So, it's, which is...
Right.
But,
you know.
Coach Flick. Shout out Coach Flick.
Big shout out.
But that's just, I'm just going to have to zone out for sections and just do it. Just do it. Just get after it and just go do it. And try my hardest. And so I think that'll be good. Just getting out and doing that. So I'm excited for it.
I think you've got the right mentality, and I think you're very well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was 2 weeks ago. You told me you ran eight. Maybe it was longer than that. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago. You ran 18 miles, and you said you knew you had 8 in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like that was like a month ago when I did that, but still.
Well, 3 weeks, basically a month.
But yeah. I feel like I can do it, and that's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. If you think that you can do it, you can do it. People can be putting you down this way, that way. It don't matter. I mean, if you got the mindset to go and do it, you can do it.
Earlier, you said that people looked at you and said you were crazy for running at, like, when it was dark out, and you kind of touched on that and how it was important to you. So you made sacrifices that to other people seemed crazy, and those same people are going to be like seeing your accomplishment Saturday evening and thinking like, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe he just ran a marathon.
There's always going to be people hating, I guess. People trying to bring you down, but just don't let it affect you.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with people before that they just have this mindset of everyone has an opinion about them, and it's a negative opinion about them, and it's always this or that, and they're just all just in their own head and in their own mind, and just it's so much that it just brings them down and they lose control.
Yeah.
And just because they care about what other people think about them. And it's hard for me to kind of relate to that because, you know, it's easy. I've related to that before, but like here recently, it's like, I don't care what other people think about me, like on the outside that's not in my group, my personal inner group. It's like, you know, I care what you think about me because, you know, you're my friend. I want you to hold me accountable. If I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something bad, I want you to be like, hey, straighten up, you know. But it's like, what this random dude that I may work with, or I may do this or that with, or just happen to see every now and then, or I don't talk to, what they think about me doesn't need to affect my life, because it doesn't affect my life because they're not in my life. So what is their opinion about you? Why does that change the way that you think and feel about yourself? And people get in that mindset, that negative mindset, they just get all down and depressed about it. And I hate it. It actually hurts me to see people feel that way. But I don't know.
It'll only matter if you let it matter.
That's right.
So.
But it's getting late.
It is getting late.
Think we should wrap it up.
I'm fine with wrapping it up.
Let me get the guitar.
Get the guitar out. Gabe, you're gonna hear this later. You may hear me here in a second, but I'm gonna start doing the daily videos. Hold myself accountable. I'm gonna use the show to hold me accountable, and I'm gonna start doing updates on the week.
What is it?
I'm gonna start doing the daily videos post workout, and I'm gonna give weekly updates on my strength and my weight. We're sitting about 225 right now.
I think that'll be good. I think that'll be neat to see. I know it'll be neat for me to see your progress and stuff.
That's my starting point.
Verse of the day. What was it? Joshua 1:9.
Joshua 1:9.
I guess verse of the week almost. Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Cool stuff.
Keep that in mind.
It's late. I'm going to try to play this a little quiet. So Mom doesn't come in here and start yelling at me.
Was that quiet enough?
We love you. Jesus
Yeah.
loves you.
We love you. Peace out, everybody.
Be good to your brother.